Hello, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Tuesday, July 23rd, 2024. I was preparing for a video, the one I'm doing now, when the news came on this afternoon that the head of the Secret Service, Ms. Cheadle, has resigned. So that doesn't really impact where I was going with the information that we're going to do the video about and read about. But I just wanted you to know that as I make this video, I am aware of that much of the developments as far as her resignation goes. It has happened. Now, we are going to do 2 reads in this video. A short one, real quick one, just asking about just one quick question. And then we're going to do the regular, longer read about the Secret Service itself. Let me take you to my compilation and then we'll start on the questions. Let's go to that share screen and I'll show you what I was looking at. Okay, Dan Bongino, immediately after the failed assassination attempt on our 45th president, was very vocal that there was a lot of issues going on within the Secret Service that he was already aware of, but that whole event should not have happened in any way, shape, or form. And as a former Secret Service agent himself, who is now an author, a podcaster, and considered one of our terrific community members, he put out this social media post that there was a lot of former and current social Secret Service agents, rank and file, and managers reaching out, pleading for help. Now, Mr. Bongino has got a vested interest in making us aware of those contacts. Still, I think those contacts were genuine that he was talking about. But yeah, it's put himself in the public eye, and certainly on the platform X, there's been a lot of polls about should Mr. Bongino leave the truther community and play a role in cleaning up house at the Secret Service agencies. So something to think about. If you're interested in him and a little more about the man, here is his personal website. Here is his Truth Social account. And here is a recent interview that he did. So I included those things here. If you want to just go with the mainstream background look, you can look at the Wikipedia entry for him here. Now let's talk about the Secret Service Agency. As we know, Kim Cheadle resigned today. The Secret Service is tasked with protecting the president, past presidents, their families. You can look at the exact scope of their protection services if you'd like to follow that link, because they have that available on the web. You might not know, and I didn't until someone that I dearly love was kind of associated with the Secret Service. The history of the Secret Service is interesting, and I wanted to include that because this history still goes on today. That back in 1865, they were created, and at that time, they were tasked with stopping counterfeiting to stabilize America's young financial system. That was 1 year after the Civil War ended, and there was a lot of, it said 1/3 of the currency in circulation was counterfeit. Something had to be done. Something was, the Secret Service was created, and to this day, a large part of what they do involves stopping counterfeiting or tracking counterfeit operations. I thought that was interesting. So they've kind of failed at protecting lately. Maybe they're catching counterfeiters. So we live in complicated times. And if you, like I, believe there are timelines, I want to ask questions about the one that the majority of us are on. And in that timeline, currently, we've had no large ascension event that's been globally and universally acknowledged and evident. So we're still in the paradigm of lots of government, lots of corrupt government, lots of stand-ins and mass players playing the parts of formerly, well, they still seem to be prominent people or important people. There's just a lot going on. It makes it a little bit tricky to ask an accurate question of the universe. So first of all, I'd like to just satisfy my curiosity, and I know if I'm curious, you probably are too, at least some of you. So I'm going to use a deck that I'll finish shuffling in front of you so you know that there's no shenanigans going on. And this is going to be just a quick 3-card read about Dan Bongino. My question is going to be on this timeline and free of any veiling or obfuscation efforts. So in other words, very clear and honest information is sought. Does Dan Bongino have an official and public role that he will be playing? Now, right now, he's kind of like an unofficial off-camera mentor to agents and former agents. Is he going to be stepping back in an official and public capacity in the Secret Service agency? So now he could be brought under contract and we wouldn't know it. There's lots of ways that this could play out, but we're looking at official and public. So I'm going to do a 3-card read. It's going to be real simple. Answer, clarifier, and further information. That should be enough for a question like this. So does the person seen in the public eye as author, truther, podcaster, Dan Bongino, have a near future public and official role to play with the Secret Service? Let's find out. I'm going to switch the camera, finish working with the cards, and we will discover the answer to that one together. Now, in the past, this particular deck, well, I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It does tend to have some glare on the screen. I'm aware of that. Please don't complain about it. It's only for 3 cards. You can suffer through it, okay? So again, our question just is, on this timeline and in the near future, does the person seen in the public eye as truther, podcaster, former Secret Service agent, and author, if I didn't already say that, Dan Bongino, have a public and official role that he will be playing for the Secret Service? And we're looking at near future. Let's give it near future. Let's put a, because the universe recognizes time differently than we do, let's say in the next year. I'm tempted to say 6 months, but let's just say a year. Don't want to go beyond that. Don't care beyond that. Again, this will be just 3 cards. First card's our answer. Okay, clarifier for it. So we have the 6 of Swords for our answer, 5 of Pentacles for the clarifier, and further information, we've got the 2 of Pentacles. The option is not off the table, is what I'm saying with these 3 cards. First of all, he is going to play an official role. Again, it may just be continued mentorship and moral support for those people that are still officially part of the Secret Service agency, whether they're doing protection services or counterfeit tracking, that kind of thing. He's still going to be playing a role because it does indicate that the agency is going to a better place. Okay. The reason I say it's a little doubtful that he's going to is with the 5 of Pentacles showing someone avoiding official and sanctioned and structured type of organizations. They're going their own way. So I think even if the offer was put out there, I mean, I'm sure he's very gratified at all the polls and things like that, but I think he's going to see that he has a larger audience and actually he can do more from behind the scenes than being the official public person there, at least as far as peer support and things like that go. Why I say the option is not off the table, we've got the 2 of Pentacles here, kind of indicating that there are some choices. He is going to be offered something. He is. I hope he tells us what it is. But it looks like, unless something changes, no matter what he's offered right now, he's going to stay in an unofficial capacity with the Secret Service. So that's the answer we have on Dan Bongino specifically. Now, I'm just going to stay on the tarot table. Let me get these cards out of the way. And let's do a read about the Secret Service agency. Again, for this timeline, free of any veiling or obfuscation efforts. We just want clear and easily understood information, insights to be shared, and we'll let the universe withhold things that might impact if for any reason there was someone's safety that might be impacted. I let the universe choose on that. But we want to know about the Secret Service Agency. They're beleaguered. I'm hoping we're going to get some insights that in the future they'll be scaled back considerably. But then I've made no secret of the fact that I want all government agencies to be scaled back significantly. Be nice to get a little confirmation here. So again, we're just asking about what is insights and information about the United States Secret Service. What's going on with them, what will be going on with them, let's find out. Our first card is the Queen of Pentacles. Then we have the King of Swords. Mr. T had a lot to do with the changes that are happening, even though he's in the public perception, he is unofficial in his capacities right now. The recent past, Four of Wands looking good. So they're set up for some nice things. Oh, we got another powerful card showing up for the president with the Chariot. President, vice president, the ones that are behind the scenes, possibly. Near future, Temperance. Then we have the Eight of Cups. For our insight card, further insights, going to be another eight. So we got multiple eights here with the Eight of Wands. And I will, at some point, get a couple more cards on this and see. Okay, so I think the Queen of Pentacles was a very gracious card, but it's kind of indicating the fact that Kim Cheadle has stepped aside. And very much a part of that happening was Mr. T. Okay. Yeah, there was incompetence. There was probably malice trying to act like incompetence. Either way, their heads needed to roll and people needed to be reassigned or prosecuted or what have you. So that is in process. It looks like it's been in process in the last 8 days, and very nicely so. So even though we're just now hearing about this resignation, there have been others. There has been some consequences. People have been consequenced, as I say, as a result of what happened at that rally in Pennsylvania. And again, we got two powerful players that have said they stepped in and got active as far as seeing those changes get started. Let's look at the near future. Okay. They're not going to completely abolish the Secret Service in the near future. So we need to be kind of reasonable in our expectations. We're going to, what will be perceived, as always, what will be perceived in the public eye and announced isn't the sum of what happens behind the scenes as well as in front of the scenes. Okay, we know that in our own lives. Our friends and neighbors know a lot about our lives, but they don't know it all because they're not living it with us. So, there's going to be more. We have to have reasonable expectations. So if you were hoping for a complete abolishing of that agency, like I would like, we're not going to have those hopes fulfilled as we would have hoped. So, but they are going to be turning away from some of their current roles. I don't know. I think they're going to be scaling back quite a bit. And at a time when there are a lot of events happening on, I did months and months ago, I did a look at a few of the government agencies, and at the time, and I still think this holds true, the U.S. Marshals seem to have the least amount of scandal and compromised aspects to what the tarot cards was telling us about them. And at the time, I kind of hoped that they would be ramped up and assume some of the duties other agencies that have totally failed or simply have been agents of chaos could be done away with. So, and when, I get asked to take a public role or what my opinion means to the greater good, I'll share that. But in the meantime, I'll share it via the videos with you folks. So that's what we're getting so far, is that Trump and his right-hand man actively had something to do with the resignation we're hearing about today. There was there was some celebrating, well, not celebrating, but just agreement, and moving forward, there will be changes. Not as much as we hope, not as much as we hope. But future showing some events happening that are also going to have some impact on this question. Let's see what those might be. Okay, we've got the 10 of Cups. And here's my card that always indicates that there's some information that the universe has decided to withhold from the information we're getting. We're getting enough. If more was shared, there is some safety that could be compromised. So the 4 cards talks about, we shared this, but we're not sharing this, and there's a good reason for it, and I trust that. That's why I let the universe do that, and I read what I get. But we're going to be happy with the changes that we see and observe in the Secret Services and in their future role. Again, they're not totally going away, but they are going to have some modified expectations and some big changes as far as the personnel. And remember, even though they got negatively in the spotlight in this last week, they are by no means the most corrupt of our 3-letter well, they're not 3-letter, but 3-letter agencies. There's a couple of those that need a lot more attention and pruning. So we're going to be happy with the changes we see. And thank you, Mr. T, and your trusted right-hand person for getting these started, even from behind the scenes. Let's recap. There are a lot of things happening in the United States leading up to our November election. There are Supreme Court cases that seem to have been either put on the back burner or, as the tarot told me, they actually have had some secret decisions that they have chosen not to bring forward yet. I'm hearing today, as I make this video, that there is now a barricaded road around Mar-a-Lago, the resort where and home of our former president, Mr. T. And I also heard that Prime Minister or President, I don't know exactly what his title is, Bibi Netanyahu from, and I hope I said that right, from Israel, is coming to the United States, and he's making a stop, and we'll be seeing the official or supposed BP, but he's also apparently made a petition to speak with Mr. T. There are a lot of world figures that are seeing Mr. T. And remember, I make no secret of the fact that I've thought for these last 3.5 years that he is still our commander-in-chief and a wartime president, and letting that play out in a very discreet and subtle way. So let's talk though about the answers we got from the tarot. First of all, we asked if Dan Bongino was going to have a public and official role in the Secret Service in the near future, within a year. It looks like an offer is going to be made. He'll have some options to go official, go public, but it doesn't look like officially or publicly he's going to at this time take advantage of that. But it does look like unofficially right now, where agents and former agents, feel free to contact him. That mentorship and support that he's been providing is vital, because there's got to be a crisis going on in the rank and file and management from those who really took their oath seriously and want to do the job right, and for those that were willing to engage in shenanigans or let themselves be compromised in some way, but still stay on the team. So he does have a role to play, but it doesn't look like it's going to be an official one. Then we took a look at the Secret Service itself, and just asked for insights and information about that agency. First of all, when Ms. Cheadle resigned today, it actually looks like it's already happened. It was just announced today, as with so many events. And behind it, very strongly behind it, was Mr. T and his right-hand person. Okay, I'll let you decide who that is. The reason I said that it was announced today, but it seems to have already happened, was this card with the 4 of Wands. Now, I got no indication in the cards that Kim Cheadle, who's stepping aside, was actually, it looks like there's a possibility she was a white hat. Okay, now I don't know in what form that played out, whether there was some shenanigans that went on under, whether she agreed to play the role of a DEI buffoon, didn't earn it, which she did that well. I hope that was an act, but I bet it wasn't. Anyway, I don't know, but nothing came up showing her as being like a plotter and part of that. We did get a nod to the fact that the universe is withholding some information about the Secret Service at this time, and that is always because of somebody's safety would be impacted by letting us see in the tarot cards too much information. We got enough though. There's going to be some changes. It's not going away completely. It will be changed, so we have to have modified expectations for the changes that we'll see, both that we will see and those that happen behind the scenes. So it's not going away, but it is changing, and it's changing as a result of events, and there are events that are showing up in the near future that will also have an impact on that agency. Now, whatever those changes are, it looks like we're going to be happy with them. So good change is coming, not bad change. Remember, we're going from dark to light. I expect nothing else, and neither should you. That's it for this video. I thank you so much for your time and attention and viewership, and I appreciate your patience, as this is very much a home production done in a spare bedroom in a little 2-bedroom house in northern Maine. I appreciate you though, and I thank you. And if you're willing to receive it, I send you love and light and everything bright. Until next time, which with all the things happening will probably be pretty soon. Bye.